What if you wanted to go to heaven? But God said...
Your ice cream.
So, look, I'm a firm believer that horror can come from anything, and that we should allow our minds to wander into wacky territory, because after all, what is the horror genre if not an exploration of the human psyche? And in there, anything is popsicle. So to say that the idea of a killer ice cream man is a stupid one is not only ignorant and closed-minded, but may actually lead to the collapse of society as we know it. For you see, when we're long gone and new life springs forth from the earth, our descendants will have to piece together what went wrong, and they're gonna shake their heads, or whatever passes for heads in the year 24. They'll shake those weird brain cages in dismay when they learn that we were foolish enough to turn up our noses at the ice cream man, which led to dismay, chaos, and ultimate regret.
Are you sorry you didn't find anything and wreck my place? Or are you just sorry you didn't find anything?
This is what my real voice sounds like.
Thus, I am here to preach the gospel of this movie so that you may have your filthy minds scrubbed of your bias and hatred. So without further ado, I'll get straight to the pint. This movie is gelato fun, for better or worse.
Today, you ruined the happiness of those children for many days to come. Do you understand the consequences?
You know, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, I bet you didn't.
So get this, you'll never believe it. The Ice Cream Man's a movie about a guy who makes, gasp, human-based ice cream. Whoa! But not in the, hey, we got a bunch of extra breast milk laying around, why don't we put it to a unique use sort of way. But in a, hey, why don't we try to sneak in as many eyelids among the chocolate chip as we can, sort of fashion. But underneath all the gore and gasps, there's a tale as old as time. For you see, it's really about a young child who sees their father figure gunned down and sets out on a quest for vengeance. Oh, wait a minute. No. I'm thinking of True Grit. That was a good movie. No, this is more like a man being subjected to the horrors of a poorly run mental hospital and finding out that it's our common humanity that grants human beings a basic level of shared dignity and... Shit, I did it again. That's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. God fucking damn it. No. So then what the hell is this movie about?
Don't you know there's a curfew? Kids, always getting in trouble. Kinda makes your head spin.
Ah, I see. It's about being a stupid fucking jackass. Well, that's great. Fortunately, I'm a card-carrying member of the Jackass Brigade, so, I'm game. Fine. Carry on, movie. Let's go see how far this turd caramel swirls down the tiramisu tubes. It opens with a painfully vanilla flavor text, but quickly careens down a rocky road.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
And while that's fucking awesome, I have to wonder, why the hell is this kid who, ends up growing up to be our little ice cream prince, why is he bleeding from the head? He wasn't anywhere close to the action. Is it sympathy pain? Or maybe it's some wicked nasty brain freeze?
That's what I call a brain freeze.
Oh man, oh boy, I'm already on this movie's wavelength. Sweet Jesus, oh dear, this is gonna be a painful one, I can tell. But quick, there's no time to think about it. Let's get our ass to the 90s, that wonderful time when jean jackets ruled the land, when cockroaches got lost in the sauce, and kids didn't hesitate to eat ice cream straight out of the sandbox. Oh, and it was also a time when creepy-ass garbage collectors could stare ominously in the background. A simpler age for sure. However, even for the go-go 90s, this shot of the kids giving their little Pied Piper exposition story on the playground would have been enough to make anybody hurl their horchata. Ugh. No, get out of there. Negative thought detected. I won't condone this. Doctors, get in here. Inject some of that reanimator goo into my brain. Although, maybe it's just iced tea. Ooh, green iced tea, that'd be pretty good. Ooh, that's the good stuff. Okay. I'm badder. And, maybe it's just the effect of all that goo running around in my head, so I might be hallucinating here, but all of a sudden I'm seeing the legendary actor David Warner here in a completely necessary role as a priest who does nothing. He doesn't do anything. But hey, let's keep it positive. This is truly a role which rivals his performance in Star Trek The Next Generation as Gul Madred, in which he pressured Captain Picard to confess that he saw 5 flavors of ice cream, when in reality there were only 4. Ooh. But if you're not a big Star Trek fan like me, then you may remember him from his unbelievably iconic role as Ra's al Ghul in the Batman animated series. But there's no time to ponder this character's existence or this actor's failing career. Quick, we have to head over to this 30-year-old woman cosplaying as a grandma. And hey, check it out, her dog is playing with the ice cream man. Oh, now that's pretty wholesome.
Happy day, little puppy. They'll love you.
Ah, I see. Well, at least now we know how puppuccinos are made. Am I right? Am I right? Or maybe just meat pizza. Or whatever the fuck that is. Ew, gross. It looks like a lasagna got mixed with a pizza in that teleporter from The Fly. Good lord. Maybe this freak food explains why the son of this family looks older than his supposed father.
I'm definitely not going to a G film.
Be happy, happy, be happy, happy.
Well, that's certainly a transition. What the fuck? You know, it's at this point in the movie that I knew I was encountering something special. A rare treat, the likes of which only comes around once in a blue moon. Actually, while we're talking about treats, can I just ask, what the fuck is she feeding him right now? I get it's supposed to be ice cream. Don't worry, guys. I know it's supposed to be ice cream. But it looks like mashed potatoes or something. I don't get it. Looks really clumpy and gross. And we see this mystery shit later on in some shoes. Yes, in some shoes, I know. It's a long story. It's in some shoes, and it just really looks like mashed potatoes. It's really weird. As a matter of fact, for a movie about those summertime treats, this thing's got some of the most unappealing ice cream ever put to film. At times it looks like pasteurized cum or a rainbow's diarrhea, and it's goddamn disgusting. Although it does have some of these adorable mice playing around in the blood cream sausages? I can't really tell. I suppose I need to go get my eye examined. God damn, this movie really puts the eye in ice cream. But hold up, wait a second. Whoa, pause. Is that a deep composition shot? My god. It's exactly like the ones found in Citizen Kane, the greatest movie ever made. And hey, wait a second, now that I think about it, we've got the naturalistic dialogue taken straight from a Tarantino movie.
You know, those daisies are magnificent. How do you do that?
Actually, I chop up policemen and use them as fertilizer. They make great fertilizer.
Now, you may not be able to see the brilliance dripping from every scene, but at least the movie provides us with someone who appreciates the finer things in life, a paragon that we can all strive to become, because this woman is so impressed by the film techniques on displays that she pulls up on our Big Daddy ice cream and offers him some afternoon delight, despite the crowd of shitheads snickering at her in the background. Get the hell out of here, kids, the adults are talking, and ooh, they're talking my language.
I'd like to buy a gallon of your, hard pack. Do you deliver?
No.
But be careful of inviting strange men into your body, because you may end up like this lady who is, really feeling that Holy Spirit right now. Yeah, and as interesting as this is, this goes nowhere. It is never brought up again. Like, the movie sets up that this girl's family is extremely religious, and I thought it was gonna play in somehow, like at the end, maybe the priest comes in at the finale to kick some ass for the Lord, but no, it's just a waste of our time. Her family might as well have been made up of guinea pigs for all it mattered, and at this point in the movie, I'm struggling to understand why exactly we're spending time with these idiotic periphery characters that add nothing to...
Remember, no bad days, Gregory. Only happy days.
No, it's brilliant, I say. These vignettes to the unenlightened among us may seem pointless, but they are, in fact, here as an extra little treat for us to enjoy, like sprinkles in ice cream.
What do you think of this color? I don't know either. I mean, according to my color charts, it should work. But last time I followed those, I ended up looking like a clown splattered with cherry syrup.
Cherry syrup is good. Looks good on you. Get a dozen.
I mean, they're hardly a meal by themselves, but they're there to add an extra bit of fun, like the joys of cheating on your wife, or maybe decorating your office with as many phallic objects as you can find, or watching David Warner wash his hands, or, hey, you know what, just for you, how about a 5-minute scene of watching someone mumble to themselves while they put ice cream cones on a grave? It's a treat, I say, a treat! And I'm a glutton for everything this movie can provide, especially the musical score, because whenever something of mild concern comes up, we get the Trouble Afoot piano slide in, which is fantastic.
I drove by the bank an hour ago and the whole place was shut up, dark as a tomb.
So?
Yes.
Because I'm not letting him get us. All the grown-ups worry about their stupid problems.
So grab your rum raisin, because you could make a drinking game out of how many times this shit shows up. And I'll admit, I'll put my hands up here, I'm being a little callous because we do need this worrisome music, because how else would we be able to express our concern for these kids? I mean, they're just so likable. Let's go down the cast list. We've got Tuna, precious boy Tuna, and the girl with the religious David Warner dad, and the creepy mom, and the rest. But as The Rock would say, it doesn't matter what their names are, because there is a better way to categorize them. They call themselves the Rocketeers because they have custom berets and rockets attached to their bikes?
Holy shit, the kid's got a gun!
Propulsion-related violence aside, they're good kids. When this youngster, Small Paul, goes missing, who goes looking for him? The Rocketeers. When it comes to compiling evidence against the Ice Cream Man, who accidentally develops the candid shots of these two bimbos getting it on? The Rocketeers. And when it comes to tracking down the mental hospital that fucked up the Ice Cream Man, who casually walks away from that madhouse the same way you would pass through a hallway filled with stanky farts? Not the Rocketeers, you fools, because we have to reserve that honor for these two cops who have been bumbling their way through the plot. Actually, no, bumbling's too kind of a word, because bumbling would imply that their actions are amusing, something fun to watch, but these two, they just exist to fill a role, like a cardboard cutout prom date or my videos in your YouTube feed. It's such a shame they have no passion for their work, unless, of course, we're talking about busting down the Ice Cream Man's hideout. When they do that, they can't get enough.
Jesus! Hate to get my hand caught in that.
I use it to chop nuts.
Damn, pour one out. This place was once a place of magic, where clowns were melted down to their naturally vomitous state. R.I.P. Thank Christ that the Ice Cream Man didn't let this unjustifiable raid ruin the magical wonder of creating partially frozen gelatinous gum-based snacks. But be careful when you're making those snacks, because when your ingredients are made from people, there may be some, let's call them unexpected delights. And that, my dear viewers, is what's known as a diaphragm. It's a thing that some peeps use to control their dude's caramel explosion, lest they have to go looking for birthday cake flavor in the morning. So remember, ice cream guys and gals, when your homie comes up and offers you his legendary head, you gotta come with some protection. And speaking of climaxes, this one's got you covered for almost 10 full minutes of chasing, kids screaming their heads off, heads literally coming off, and an extremely predictable death for the Ice Cream Man. One where he falls into this big blender thing that's been the centerpiece of a bunch of scenes, and you can see it coming from a million miles away, and it doesn't surprise anybody. Ultimately, it ends with the Rocketeer surviving, but with Small Paul being sent away to train to become the next Ice Cream Man. Delicious. Now, I've given this movie a lot of crap, but it's all in the name of fun, and I feel like that's what the creators were trying to do as well, just to give us a bunch of stupid, goofy entertainment. It isn't supposed to be an edgier-seat thriller or a nuanced take on the subtle predatory nature of getting kids to hawk over their parents' money for half-baked treats concocted by an unhygienic man running around in a barely street-legal van. No, it's a background movie, something colorful and light that you can half-watch while drunkenly playing cards with your friends, or something that young adults can put on to cover up the sounds of their deep hormonal urges. But if you do actually find yourself watching it, it's supposed to make you giggle at how silly it is, or just shake your head at the ridiculous concept, which it does succeed at from time to time.
Mom!
But the real shame of the movie comes from the fact that sometimes it's just plain boring. I might have made it seem as if some funny or weird stuff is happening all the time, but the truth is that I really had to cherry pick the best stuff from a mountain of slurry. So if you're expecting something of the killer clowns from outer space level of campiness, then you're unfortunately going to be sorely disappointed. The harsh truth is that the kid characters are completely forgettable, the acting is decent at best and wooden at worst, and it doesn't have the courage or budget to consistently go balls to the wall. I just wanted to see some more ice cream mayhem, man. I needed to see a few more creative kills and less time sitting at the cemetery or tripping through the grocery store. But you know what? Despite these problems and how much I've ripped into it, there is a charm here that I wasn't expecting. It's earnest, it really feels like they tried, and I went into this thinking that it was going to be a purely unwatchable trash garbage fire, but I found that it not only kept my attention, but actually got me moderately invested in what was going to happen next, which, for this sort of movie, I consider a huge success. And while the final payoff isn't inspired or original in the slightest, it doesn't actively let me down or cause me to throw my popcorn-flavored ice cream at the screen. So overall, I would have to recommend Ice Cream Man to anyone looking for a disgusting little treat, although it may leave you somewhat unsatisfied by the end.
Your ice cream.
And on that note, I think we can say that this movie has indeed been reviewed to death. But this is only part of the conversation, my dear viewer. What do you think about the Ice Cream Man? Would you say that this case has been properly licked, or have I just made a big mess? Let me know in those comments. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. If you'd like to see any of my upcoming content, then please consider subscribing, or possibly even supporting me on Patreon, where there are added benefits such as voting polls, insights into my creative process, and some other cool things as well. It helps keep the channel root beer afloat. Whoa, that was a stretch even for me. Yikes. Either way, thank you very much for everything you do, and please, have a lovely Sunday. You know, it's like the ice cream thing. Sunday. You see, it's funny because...
This is not a happy day!